Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about 5 of the most dangerous temptations when dealing with a narcissist. If you've ever had the feeling that maybe you could handle the situation better this time, or that you could find a way to have something casual with that person who hurt you so much, this video is for you. These temptations are emotional traps that can pull you back into the same cycle of manipulation, frustration, and pain. But understanding them, and most importantly, knowing how to avoid them, is key to protecting yourself and keeping your peace of mind intact. So, if you've ever thought about reconnecting, arguing to clarify things, or even leaving a door open, just in case, stay tuned, because this might be what you need to hear. Here, we're going to dive into why these temptations may seem irresistible, but will ultimately only lead you back into a toxic relationship. No more false hopes, no more second chances for pain. It's time to protect yourself and leave that person behind for good. Number 1. Getting into arguments. One of the most natural impulses when dealing with a narcissist is the desire to argue so they will finally listen to you. It's tempting to want to clarify things, explain how you feel, or make them see the damage they've caused. However, narcissists are experts at manipulating arguments. What seems like a legitimate attempt at communication turns into an emotional battlefield where they have all the weapons. Arguing with a narcissist is like stepping into a trap. They provoke, you react, and in the end, they blame you for losing control. The problem with narcissists is that they aren't looking for real resolution in arguments. They're not interested in understanding you or resolving the conflict constructively. For them, arguments are a way to reaffirm their control over you. While you're speaking from the heart or trying to reason, they're calculating how to make you emotionally explode. And when they succeed, they use your reaction against you, making you feel guilty or like you're the problem. This dynamic is not only exhausting but also dangerous, as it leaves you emotionally drained and often more confused than before. The best way to overcome this temptation is to walk away before the argument begins. It may seem difficult, especially when you feel the need to clear things up, but you must remind yourself that you'll never win on their terms. Staying calm and avoiding their provocations is a sign of strength. By choosing not to argue, you protect your peace of mind and prevent the narcissist from feeding off your emotional reactions. It's not about ignoring the conflict, but about choosing not to participate in a game you know is rigged from the start. Number 2. Believing that going back will heal your pain. When a relationship with a narcissist ends, it's common to feel a deep pain that seems impossible to heal. In those moments, the temptation may arise to believe that returning to that relationship will give you the emotional closure you so desperately want. You may think that by going back, you'll have the chance to fix things, get an explanation, or finally receive the recognition you never had. However, going back to a narcissist will not only fail to heal your pain, it will drag you back into the toxic cycle of manipulation and abuse. The narcissist doesn't change, and returning to the relationship will only reopen old wounds. You won't find the closure you desire. Instead, you'll face more confusion, more emotional abuse, and a greater sense of helplessness. While it may seem in the moment that the only way to relieve the pain is by going back, the truth is that you'll only be reliving the same destructive dynamics. What may initially seem like a temporary solution soon becomes a constant reminder of why that relationship hurt you so much. Overcoming this temptation means recognizing that true closure won't come from them, but from within yourself. The relief you're seeking doesn't lie in returning to the source of the pain, but in completely distancing yourself from it. Healing means taking the time to work on yourself, process your emotions, and build a life where the narcissist no longer has a place. Breaking the cycle completely is the only way to begin your true healing process. Number 3. Having casual contact. After cutting off a relationship with a narcissist, it's common to feel like you can maintain some kind of occasional and superficial contact, thinking this time things won't spiral out of control. One of the most common scenarios is the idea of maintaining sporadic, intimate relations, believing you can separate the emotional from the physical. It's tempting to think you can have intimate encounters without falling back into the toxic dynamics of the relationship. However, This kind of contact is actually one of the most dangerous because the narcissist uses it to reinforce their power and control over you. Narcissists are experts at using intimacy as a tool to manipulate you emotionally. While you may believe you can keep the relationship purely physical, they will use every encounter to reopen the door to emotional manipulation. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you can separate things and keep the situation under control, but over time, those intimate encounters reignite old power dynamics. Little by little, you'll find yourself trapped again, with confused emotions and feeling vulnerable because they know how to blend the physical with the emotional to regain control of the situation. To overcome this temptation, it's important to recognize that with a narcissist, there is no possibility of maintaining casual intimacy without emotional consequences. Every time you agree to that kind of contact, you expose yourself to falling back into their cycle of abuse. The only way to protect yourself is to completely cut off that kind of interaction. Not only will you distance yourself from manipulation, but you'll also begin to regain your emotional and mental autonomy without the constant confusion these interactions generate. Number 4. Believing they have changed. One of the most powerful temptations is believing that the narcissist has changed. After some time apart, the narcissist may come back saying they've reflected, that they've changed, or that they've finally realized their mistakes. These kinds of promises can be very seductive, especially if you've invested a lot of time and emotions in that relationship. The idea that they are finally willing to change may tempt you to give them another chance, but this is just another manipulative tactic. The narcissist knows exactly what to say to make you lower your guard. Maybe at first, it seems like they've really changed, acting more understanding or showing different behavior. But these changes are superficial and temporary. Once they feel they have you back under their control, the old patterns of abuse, manipulation, and disregard resurface. It's a cycle that repeats over and over, and the promise of change fades as quickly as it appeared. The next time you feel like the narcissist has changed, ask yourself if their actions match their words in the long term. Keep your distance and don't fall for the illusion that this time will be different. Number 5. Leaving the door open. Finally, one of the most dangerous temptations is leaving a small door open, believing that maintaining a minimal connection with the narcissist won't cause any more harm. This can take many forms: staying friends on social media, occasionally responding to their messages, or keeping some type of contact under the premise of a cordial relationship. This temptation is deceptive because it seems harmless, but the truth is that any kind of bond with the narcissist is an opportunity for them to re-enter your life. Narcissists are always looking for ways to regain control, and if they sense you still have any kind of connection with them, no matter how small, they will take advantage of it. A casual message can turn into an attempt at emotional manipulation, and before you know it, you'll be entangled in their toxic dynamics again. Leaving the door slightly open is like inviting them to come back when it suits them, and they won't hesitate to do so. To overcome this temptation, it's necessary to close the door completely. This means cutting off all contact, both physical and virtual. It's not about being cruel, but about protecting yourself and ensuring they no longer have access to your life. By closing the door for good, you take control of your own emotional well-being and remove their ability to interfere with your healing process. It's an act of self-care and strength that will allow you to move forward without their shadow hanging over you. I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments, and if you like the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.